Hey gang, welcome back to Gear and Gadget Reviews. I'm Brian, and this week's gonna be a solar panel week, and we're just gonna get this thing kicked off quickly. So this is the big boss. This is the big daddy that I have to review. This came from LENSUN. This is a 200 watt monocrystalline solar panel. It is approximately 12 pounds. It's about 1.5 inches thick. Now, LENSUN claims that this has a 23.5% efficiency rating, so we'll test that out. Today's a perfect day. Just a few clouds, very bright, very, very, very hot here. So I'm trying to do this early in the morning. We'll see how it goes. It's just a canvas fold-up standard solar panel, and you've got a couple of buckles up here up top that you're gonna unclick, and that's how you unfold it. And again, I can't unfold this thing completely all the way on this table, but see here, it's got really nice monocrystalline panels on it. The canvas material is an Oxford canvas. Feels very, very durable, and you've got a couple of grommet holes on each corner that you can use if you want to actually like hang the solar panel up from the roof of your truck, or put a couple of carabiners up in a tree or on a fence and hang this thing. It does have the 4 kickstands on each panel that are Velcroed, and they are adjustable. So you've got 4 of those things, and that's just gonna help angle it toward the sun, because obviously the sun moves as the day goes on, and you're just gonna wanna angle those kickstands to get the best view of the sun to maximize your solar input from this thing. So a couple of these solar panels that I have only come with like 2 kickstands, and the middle ones are just kind of flopping around, which is annoying. This actually has a kickstand on each panel, which you need it because this is a bigger solar panel. Now, you also get in the front of this unit, it's a little zipper pouch, directions, and then they give you a couple of different adapters to use for different power stations. And I'm just gonna call this one your Jackery adapter. I don't know, Jackery I think uses 8mm weird plugs, but it comes with one. And then you've got a smaller plug that I don't have any use for. I don't have any battery power stations that use this plug, but it comes with that. And what I really like about this thing, it comes with a really long DC cord, so you don't necessarily have to keep your battery out in the sun right next to this thing. So it's got a real nice long heavy gauge DC cord, so that's what I really like about this thing. Also, the end of this long DC cord just comes with these solar connections, but they also give you this pigtail, which has got the 5521 adapter, and then this pigtail, which has the Anderson adapter. So most of my battery stations either has a 5521 or an Anderson or an XT60, but that's really easy to put an adapter on the end of a 5521 barrel adapter right here and plug it in. Your options are really endless once you have these two. So in my case, I believe I'm going to use my 2000 watt battery to test this thing, and I think it's got Anderson inputs. So in order to plug in my battery station to this solar panel, I'm going to use this Anderson pigtail connected directly to the hardwired long DC cord that comes with this solar panel, and you just plug and play. Snap those in. Okay, so now the end of this is going to go directly into my battery. Now, on this solar panel, there's no extra USB inputs or 5521 inputs. It is literally just a solar panel that has one hardwire connection that's going to pull all of the solar energy from the solar panel to whatever you're going to plug it into. So you can't plug in your phone directly to the solar panel. You can't plug in anything directly to the solar panel. This only has one cord that you're going to plug into whatever you're trying to charge, i.e. a portable battery station. This just obviously zips up nice and neat, and you keep everything all in one place. And I'm going to put these adapters back in this bag because I will lose them, and just zip it up, and you can throw this thing in the back of your truck, behind your car seat, in your trunk, wherever. But so here's how thick it is. I mean, it's got a pretty thin profile to it, but overall it's just It feels very, very well made. Now, we're gonna test it out to see if I can get anywhere near the 200 watt with the 23.5% efficiency rating today. And I should be able to get close because again, it is a perfect day out there. Let me take this out to my driveway, find the best possible spot for it to give it a fair chance. And real quick, before I do forget, which is another nice feature, this thing does come with a 2-year, 24-month warranty as well. A lot of these are only 12 months, 1 year, if you can get it. This is 2-year, 24 months from the date of purchase. So if you have any issues with this thing, you call up LENSUN. And LENSUN's a company that I've seen around a lot in the solar industry, I guess. So they're not just some pop-up brand. If you do have a problem with them, they are going to be available to support that 24-month warranty. But that out of the way, let's now go outside. Okay. Like so. Now we'll start folding this big boy out. That should be pointed right at the sun. Okay, gang, so hopefully, without too much shake, you can see that I got all 4 panels pointing directly right at the sun. I've got the included cord, and I put my battery over here in the shade, so hopefully I can get this screen to show up on camera. So hopefully you can see right now, I'm getting 117 watts of juice from that solar panel. Now let me go tweak with the angle a little bit, and again, it's 9 a.m. outside, so the sun's not an optimal angle for this, but right now I'm getting, let's say 115 watts. So right now 115 watts, I was hoping for more, to be honest, but I'm gonna check this thing out around noon when the sun's right overhead to see if we're gonna be able to pull more watts out of this thing, because I know 9 a.m. sun is not the best solar sun. So to give it a fair shake, we'll test it out around noon. Hey folks, okay, it is now around 12:30 in the afternoon. The sun's at a pretty optimal angle, I believe, to utilize these solar panels. So I've got it set up here in the driveway. You can see it's roughly at a little bit more than 45-degree angle, and I'll tweak that a little bit as we test this, but I've got it hooked up to a different battery that hopefully makes the screen a little bit easier for you folks to see, but it's pulling 123 watts. I know that's probably going to be a little finicky on this screen, but this number right here is 123 watts. Maybe if I hold it long enough, you can believe me. 122, 121. So it's kind of fluctuating between 121 and 123 watts. And sorry guys, I just don't have a good screen. It's really hard to do these things in the sunlight because these screens are hard to see. But hopefully you can see it on the second battery. It's a little bit brighter screen. Now I'll go ahead and plug it into my bigger battery and see if you guys can see it and see if there's any difference between the two batteries. So these are just using these Anderson inputs. So I'm gonna unplug this and I'm gonna plug the Anderson into this bigger battery. We're at 115 watts now, 110. What's going on? So, I don't know, with this bigger battery, I'm actually getting a little bit less wattage. Let's plug it back into the other battery to see if I'm just crazy. So we're gonna unplug this, plug it back into this battery. So we got the other one plugged in now. And we're back up to 123 watts. Down to 122. So there you go. I'm honestly kind of at the best time of the day to test these things. It's 182,000 degrees outside. And that's at a pretty good angle. But just to make this fair, let me, I can lower these things to see what it gives us. So now that panel is flat, and this actually went down to 111 watts, 110. So a 200 watt solar panel, obviously you're never gonna get 200 watts because you've got conversions, you've got energy loss, but on average, I would say this 200 watt panel is getting me 120 to 125 watts of juice on a perfect no cloud day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what I'm averaging around both of these batteries here. So let's take it back inside and kind of do a final recap over what I think about this thing. So that's going to conclude my first initial testing over this LENSUN 200 watt solar panel. After I was thinking about it for quite a bit, my best 100 watt solar panel, I could squeeze maybe 75 to 76 watts out of on a perfect day. With this being a 200 watt solar panel, the best I got out of it was 128 watts, but I'm gonna say on average, this thing got 123 watts because I really fluctuated between 120 to 125. So let's split it right down the middle and say on average, 123 watts, perfect day at noon. That really is gonna be your optimal time and optimal weather conditions to use a solar panel. So 123 watts. That's not bad. I honestly thought I would get more. However, I'm not a solar panel expert. I don't know the exact scientific explanation to how these things actually work. I'm a regular guy who buys these things to use on camping trips or outdoors, and I just want to know how many watts these things are going to use to put into my battery station, okay? I really don't care about any of the technical stuff, but if you do, here's a bunch of technical stuff that you can look at while I talk. But again, I'm just a regular dude that just wants a lot of watts to get put into a battery station. With that being said, I think 123 to 125 watts is not bad for a 200 watt panel. I know I'm not ever gonna get 200 watts. And the fact that this is pretty much the same size, the same form factor as my 100 watt panels, I think I would be more inclined to bring this with me in the back of my truck as opposed to the little 100 watt panel that literally is the same size. This might weigh 1.5 pounds more, but it's still virtually the same size, and it doesn't, it doesn't take up a lot of space. So in the end, I think that I would bring this over my 100 watt panels that I really like, that do perform well, but only give me about 78 watts of energy. And again, that's all I care about. I don't care about the efficiency ratings. I don't care about the max output, input, voltage, amperage, any of that stuff. I'm not a scientist. I just want as many watts as I can get from the sun to get put into my battery. And I know from today that I can get around 123 to 125 watts out of this panel. I hope that helps you. If that's gonna be enough for your needs, again, on a perfect day, this LENSUN 200 watt panel got me 123 watts. So guys, if you aren't familiar with my other main camping channel, I do take all of these products that I review on this channel, I take them with me on camping trips and I actually use them. So if you're interested in seeing these things out in the wild and me actually putting them to real world use, check out my channel, my camping channel. I'll put the description below, the link below, and you guys, if you're interested, you can see these things being used on a real trip. So folks, that's basically it for this LENSUN 200 watt panel. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon. Take care.